Okay, you know that feeling, right? You're stuck in a line that's just crawling. But the one right next to you, it's flying by. It feels like they've hit the fast forward button. Well, what if I told you there's a science to fixing that? Today, we're diving into this really cool concept called line balancing.
Yeah, think about your classic morning coffee run. You pick a line, you cross your fingers, and nope. You're watching everyone else get their lattes and head out the door while you haven't moved an inch. And trust me, it's not just bad luck. It's actually a flaw in the system. So let's take a look behind the counter and see what's really going on.
So picture this. The person at the register, super fast. They're flying through orders. But then, the barista who's actually making the coffee is just standing there, waiting. Why? Because the bean grinder is chugging along. And right there, that's our first big clue. One part of the process is slowing everything else down. And at the same time, you look over at the milk frothing station, and what do you see? Nothing. The person there is totally free, just hanging out, waiting for a cup to show up. This, my friends, is called idle time, and it's a huge red flag that the work is not spread out properly.
So what's the result of all this? You get a big old stack of empty cups. And yeah, your order is in there somewhere, piling up right between the cashier and the barista. That pileup, that's the bottleneck. It's like a traffic jam, a physical sign that the whole system is clogged up. And that's why you're still waiting for that coffee.
But here's the thing. This chaos, it's not inevitable. Not at all. There's a really smart solution designed to fix exactly this kind of mess. It's called line balancing, and it's all about taking that chaotic, unpredictable mess and turning it into a smooth, steady, predictable flow.
So what is line balancing at its core? Well, it's basically the process of carefully assigning every single little task to a specific station or person. The big idea is to make sure the workload at each step is more or less equal. That way, nobody's getting totally slammed and nobody's just standing around waiting. And how do you actually do it? It's a pretty logical three-step process. First up, you list out every single task involved. I mean everything, from grinding the beans to snapping that lid on the cup. Step 2, you time them all. How long does each little thing actually take? And finally, step 3, you group those tasks together into balanced workstations, so each station's total time is roughly the same. Now, I want to be really clear about something. The goal here is not just to make people work faster. That's a recipe for burnout and mistakes. No. The real objective is to work smarter. It's all about creating a strategic, balanced system. So let's dive into what that really looks like.
This comparison just nails it, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got pure chaos. One station is completely swamped, another is just waiting around, and the output is, well, totally unpredictable. But look at the right. That's flow. Every station has a steady, manageable rhythm. No one's idle, and the result? Consistent, reliable output. That's the dream. And this chart really brings it to life with numbers. Before you do any balancing, look at Station A. It's running at 95% capacity. That's your bottleneck right there, totally maxed out. Meanwhile, Station B is down at 40%, tons of idle time. But after balancing, maybe you just move one small task from A to B. Look what happens. They're both chugging along at a nice, steady 85%. The whole system just became way more effective. So when we talk about the goals here, what are we really trying to achieve? Well, first off, we want to maximize the efficiency of the entire line, not just one little part of it. Next, we're on a mission to eliminate that wasteful idle time. We also want to even out the workload, so you don't have one person or machine that can bring the whole thing to a grinding halt. And when you do all that, you can finally meet your production targets reliably, day in and day out.
Okay, so you might be thinking this is just some nerdy operational thing, but it's so much more than that. Line balancing has a huge, direct impact on a company's bottom line, and that is why management is always watching. Let's connect the dots from what happens on the assembly line to what shows up in the quarterly report.
This is where it all comes together. That bottleneck you see on the floor, on the business report, that shows up as missed targets. That idle time where someone is just standing around, that's higher labor costs. Plain and simple, you're paying people not to work. But when you get that smooth flow going, the business gets the thing it loves most: predictable, reliable results. You know, there's a quote from the source material that just puts a perfect bow on this. It says, line balancing explicitly links the nitty-gritty details, things like task order and station capacity, directly to those big picture performance metrics. It's not just shuffling work around. It's the bridge that connects the day-to-day operations to the company's overall success.
So as we wrap this up, I want you to think about something. This whole assembly line idea, it isn't just for factories or coffee shops. It's literally everywhere. It's in how a team builds software, how you get through your email inbox, even how you cook dinner. So the question I want to leave you with is a personal one. Where's the bottleneck in your day?